Ever noticed how your hard-earned money seems to buy less and less each year? That's inflation at work. It's an economic reality that affects us all, and it's one of the reasons why your savings, if held in traditional fiat currencies, might be on a sinking ship. Now, what exactly are these fiat currencies we're talking about? They're the familiar names we use every day: the US dollar, the Egyptian pound, the Turkish lira, the Argentine peso, and many others. These are all forms of money that governments declare to be legal tender. Sounds solid, right? Well, not quite. You see, these currencies face a number of challenges. For one, there's high debt. It's a daunting issue across the globe, with countries owing trillions of dollars. As governments borrow more and more to meet their obligations, the value of the currency they're printing declines. Then there's inflation. This is the rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services is rising, and subsequently, purchasing power is falling. It's why a cup of coffee that cost you $1 a decade ago might set you back $2 or $3 today. And let's not forget the relentless money printing. It's like a magic trick governments perform to conjure up money out of thin air. But the more they print, the less valuable each individual note becomes. It's a bit like baking a pie. If you keep cutting more and more slices, each piece gets smaller and smaller. So whether it's the dollar, the pound, the lira, or the peso, the story is the same. These currencies are all facing their own challenges, and it's the ordinary people who bear the brunt. It's why your hard-earned savings seem to be worth less and less. So, as we can see, holding onto fiat currencies is like standing on a sinking boat. The good news, there's a lifeboat on the horizon, and its name is Bitcoin. But we'll delve into that in the next scene. But fear not, because there's a lifeboat in sight: Bitcoin. Now you may be wondering, what makes Bitcoin this reliable lifeboat we speak of? Well, it's all about its inherent properties. For starters, Bitcoin is scarce. Unlike traditional currencies, which governments can print at will, leading to inflation and devaluation, Bitcoin has a finite supply. There are only 21 million Bitcoins that will ever exist. This scarcity is built into Bitcoin's code, and it's an essential aspect that gives it value. It's a bit like gold, which also derives its value from its scarcity. Another key factor is the lack of central control. No central bank or government controls Bitcoin. It's decentralized, maintained by a network of computers known as miners who process transactions and secure the system. This decentralization means that Bitcoin isn't subject to the whims of any single entity. It's immune to the problems that plague traditional currencies, such as reckless money printing and high debt levels. Bitcoin also offers transparency. Every Bitcoin transaction ever made is recorded on a public ledger known as the blockchain. This makes Bitcoin an open book. You can see how many Bitcoins are in circulation, who owns them, and how they are being used. This transparency contributes to Bitcoin's reliability as a lifeboat in these unstable economic times. Finally, Bitcoin is borderless. It can be sent anywhere in the world to anyone with an internet connection without the need for a middleman. This makes Bitcoin a truly global currency, unaffected by the economic policies of any single country. Now, it's important to note that Bitcoin isn't without its risks. Its value can fluctuate wildly, and it's still a relatively new and unproven technology. However, with these risks come potential rewards. Bitcoin has been the best performing asset over the past decade, and many believe this trend will continue. Bitcoin offers a sturdy lifeboat in the stormy seas of economic instability. But don't take our word for it. Dive in, do your research, and see if Bitcoin is the right lifeboat for your financial future. One common misconception is that it's too late to buy Bitcoin. This couldn't be further from the truth. Let's debunk this myth, shall we? Bitcoin, despite its already significant growth, is still in its early stages of adoption. The world is just beginning to see its potential, and the number of people and businesses accepting Bitcoin is increasing every day. Now you might be thinking, but the price of Bitcoin is already so high. True, Bitcoin's price has seen remarkable growth over the years, but let's not forget, Bitcoin is divisible. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin, you can start with a fraction. This fractional aspect of Bitcoin makes it accessible to everyone, regardless of their financial capacity. Moreover, the idea that it's too late to invest in Bitcoin is often based on a short-term perspective. It's important to remember that investing in Bitcoin is not about quick gains. It's about securing your financial future in a world where traditional currencies are battling inflation and devaluation. Think about it, if you're holding on to a traditional currency that's losing value, you're effectively losing wealth. Bitcoin, on the other hand, has been on a general upward trend since its inception. Even with its volatility, the long-term trend is upward. Additionally, Bitcoin's scarcity plays a significant role in its value. Unlike fiat currencies, which can be printed endlessly, there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins. This scarcity, combined with increasing demand, suggests a promising future for Bitcoin's value. So is it too late to buy Bitcoin? Not at all. In fact, the longer you wait, the more you risk being left behind. The Bitcoin train is moving, and it's moving fast. Waiting could mean missing out on potential gains as Bitcoin continues to grow and establish itself. Remember, the goal is not to get rich quick, but to protect and grow your wealth over time. It's about finding a lifeboat in a sea of sinking fiat currencies. Waiting could mean watching your savings sink to the bottom of the ocean. So take the leap, jump aboard the Bitcoin lifeboat, and start sailing towards a secure financial future. Now, you might be thinking, Bitcoin is so volatile, how can I possibly invest? The answer is simple. Start small, think big. If the thought of investing in Bitcoin seems overwhelming, remember that you don't have to dive in head first. You can simply dip your toes in the water and get a feel for the temperature. Let's say you decide to allocate just 1% of your portfolio to Bitcoin. This small percentage won't dramatically impact your overall financial health, but it will give you a stake in the game. It's a way to test the waters, to begin to understand the ebb and flow of this digital currency without risking a significant portion of your savings. Now, 1% might not seem like much, but in the world of Bitcoin, it can make a significant difference. Remember, Bitcoin is divisible, which means you don't have to buy a whole coin. You can start with a fraction of a Bitcoin and gradually increase your investment over time. As you become more comfortable with Bitcoin's volatility, you can slowly start to increase your investment, maybe from 1% to 2%, then 3%, and so forth. This gradual approach will allow you to learn and adapt to the market swings without getting caught off guard. And here's the beautiful part. As you increase your investment, your potential for growth also expands. That 1% could turn into a significant sum over time, thanks to the power of compound growth. But remember, investing in Bitcoin is not about quick gains. It's about long-term financial security. It's about having a lifeboat in a sea of sinking fiat currencies. So don't be discouraged if you don't see instant results. Patience is key when navigating the volatile seas of Bitcoin. Starting small and thinking big is the key to navigating the volatile seas of Bitcoin. One final piece of advice: educate yourself. As you embark on this financial journey, it's imperative that you arm yourself with knowledge. It's not just about knowing that Bitcoin exists. It's about understanding the why and the how. Why is Bitcoin a superior store of value compared to fiat currencies? How does it function as a decentralized currency? Deepen your understanding and you'll see why Bitcoin is not just a trend, but a revolution in the financial world. Bitcoin's value lies in its scarcity and lack of central control. Unlike fiat currencies, which governments can print at will, leading to inflation and devaluation, Bitcoin is limited. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins in existence. This scarcity is what gives Bitcoin its value and stability, protecting your savings from the volatile waves of the economy. Moreover, Bitcoin's decentralized nature means it's not tied to any one government or organization. It's a global currency accessible to anyone, anywhere. This universality and accessibility make Bitcoin a truly democratic form of money, a lifeboat in the stormy seas of economic uncertainty. But don't just take our word for it. Dive into the world of Bitcoin, read books, articles, and research papers, listen to podcasts, watch documentaries, and follow thought leaders in the crypto space. The more you learn, the more confident you'll become in your investment decisions. And remember, it's never too late to invest in Bitcoin. Don't be discouraged by the high prices you see today. Bitcoin is divisible, and you can start by buying a fraction. The important thing is to start, because the longer you wait, the more you risk being left on the sinking ship of fiat currencies. Don't let your savings sink with the fiat ship. Jump aboard the Bitcoin lifeboat today and secure your financial future. It's never too late to make a smart investment decision. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more insights on navigating the financial waters with Bitcoin.